Let me come. Let me come. Oh, and you too now, huh? Yeah, okay, guys, go away. All right. Well, okay, guys, this is what we're going to do. I had this like thought, and I was like, I wonder. So here was my crazy thought. Most of my books are not out here. Not even all my unread books are out here. But there's a lot of my unread books out here. There are very few books out here that I have read. I usually take them in. But, Toothless, you are out of your harness. How do you do this? You have skills. Nobody wants them, but you got some. He's going to yelp. I know. Get your arm in. There you go. There you go. I know. See, I knew you would yelp. Anyway, that's got to be more comfortable, huh, doggy? Oh, fat sausage. So I had this thought. I was like, okay, so they're going to demolish my Sepetys, and I am allowed to take the time to grab one of each genre before I leave that I can read until either they, pack the rest up for me and I get to them sometime, or they're gone and I have to repurchase. It's like, and that was a hard one because I'm like, okay, so if I have to repurchase, which ones would I not repurchase, but I want to buy? Is that what I should look for? I mean, I had all kinds of questions like, what should I be looking for? What would I be choosing? And I was like, no, if my Sepetys is going to be out of commission, it's not, guys, it's not. But if my Sepetys is going to be out of commission for insert X amount of time here, then what? You see what I'm doing here? So with that in mind, I'm going to go around, I'm going to look at all the shelves and show all the books that I have in different genres. And I'm probably going to have to simplify some, like there's romantic suspense and there's romance and there's suspense. If it's got suspense, it's going to be suspense. If it's straight up romance / rom-com, it's going to be romance. I'm not going to do a lot of blendy things, but and I'm going to see which ones I would pull out. Like these are all I get to read right now. And I haven't decided if I'm going to use what's already on the already chosen to be read, or if I'm going to choose something else. I don't know. We'll see what happens when I get there. Yeah, I'm probably looking a little windblown. It's blowing like blazes out there. Trucks have turned over. It's really bad. So, A, my window might start moaning and whistling and, doing its thing. And B, yeah, I'm lucky if my hairs are in place. And it's like, I'm not dealing, because this has been a horrible day. It just, not in that bad things happen. It's just like everything, you know how, you have those plans and you got your plans made for the day and you know what you want to get done. And I had just my list out. Where is my thing? Oh no, here it is. So I have, I've been using it. I said I would, and I have been using it. And I have a list for today. And on my list of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things, I'm doing number 3 right now. Yeah, so woke up and my daughter needed me to go over and be there when the plumber comes to reattach her sink plumbing and everything so she can have water. She has water now. Life is good. Kitchen's looking great, just saying. And so some of the things that I planned to get done, I didn't get to the store. I didn't even make dinner tonight. I'm trying to think of all the things I didn't do. I did change my sheets, but in the dryer, the duvet cover got bunched up. It usually bunches in the washer, but this bunched in the dryer, which has never happened before. So, bless my husband's heart, he went to bed with a slightly damp at the corners duvet cover. But we sleep with a fan on, so it'll blow those dry in no time. But yeah, just a lot of the stuff. I did finally get my shipping labels printed and slapped on the boxes. So when I take those 2 books inside for my granddaughter, I can mail them all. So that'll be good. But yeah, I'm trying to think. All the things. So last night, I got to tell you about this, guys. I should save it for a wrap up, right? But I'm not going to, because I'll probably forget about it by then. But last night, I was working on, so I've been doing these journals. This is March, and I have, I think, 1 day left. I think I have 1 page left. Yeah, see, I've got 1 left that I can write on. And then March is done. But I was working on because I hadn't made April's yet, but April's is done. Isn't it pretty? I like it. It's super pretty. Lots of just really cheerful pages and all the fun stuff. So I I was working on it, and I had finished my audiobook already, so I started He Should Have Told the Bees. That was a mistake. I'm just going to say, you need to be ready for a one sitting with that one. I have a feeling I read it at just the right time. So it may not be as amazing as I find it, but I loved that book. There was so much depth in that book, and we'll get to that some other time. But yeah, I also went to bed an hour and a half late finishing the audiobook. Kept bumping up the speed just a little bit, just a little bit, just a little bit, so that I could get it done a little bit faster. Not because I wanted to go to bed, but because I was having a hard time. You know, sometimes I will deliberately read slow and just enjoy the process. But if I'm at a part of the book, I want to know what's happening, I can speed read, and I do. But then I work myself back to slow again for most of the book. But, you know, sometimes you're just like, you've got to go. If I had my physical book in hand, I would have read the same way. I probably would have ended up speed reading to the end really fast, because I would have been like, I got to know, right? But yeah, but yeah, it's really frustrating. I don't have a good needle. I need a thin needle with a large eye to be able to fit this pearl cotton through it. And I broke mine last night. So my little tag and pearl aren't on it yet. And one of the things I was supposed to do is go to Walmart and get needles. Because needles. That didn't happen either. So anyway, let's go do this, and we'll get back here, and I will share the books that I decided, if everything had to go today and I can only grab these for right now, whether or not I'll get them back, maybe I wouldn't know, you know. What am I going to grab to read right now? And again, I'm not sure. I think I might I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I'll be back. All right, I wanted to use my tripod, but this is not going to work. So I'm going to do my best to stay nice and still. I brought out my little duster thingy. Looks like I need to actually wipe rather than just dust. So I'll have to get something cleaner for that, but figured I should at least give the guys a cursory dusting since they've been here for a little while. Okay, so I'm not going to count this shelf because I feel like I've already kind of picked these, so it seems kind of silly, but yeah, I know I'm moving stuff around, but I want to, and I can. Dad burn it. All right, so there's those. I also have these two, which is kind of important because see all this mess? Yeah. So all of these have been shared except for this one. It just came today. But so I'm going to leave that up there for now, and I'll tell more about that later. So I need to look at nonfiction. So let's start here. Oops. See, this is why we do these things, because I have this gospel one here, and it's going to need to be made permanent. I think I had you guys cockeyed the whole time. Oh well. But we have a nonfiction here, and I think that's all the nonfiction that I have on these shelves here. Yeah. I'm pretty sure none of those are nonfiction. Yeah. Are there nonfiction down there? No. I'm going to pause and go find some more. I do have the writer's letters and this Jane Austen biography. I'm pretty sure that won't make the list. After Acts, I've been really wanting to read, but I've kind of got a lot of that going on right now, so maybe not. You're a theologian I've been wanting to read. Where's my duster? Okay, also, Walking on Water by Madeleine L'Engle, I've wanted. Mind of the Maker by Sayers. I've read some of that one. Yeah. Voice in Creation's Praise. That sounds really good. I think the next, well, no, not completely. Almost. Hold on. Okay. This shelf is all journals except for this one. So I think I should move it because that just seems kind of silly, don't you think? Yeah. So this is one that might definitely make the list. The first chapter I did read at my friend Ann's house, and it's why I bought the book. And I thought, you know, so that might be a contender. But I did move it up here with the other books where it kind of belongs. I think that makes sense. Okay, now let's see. Are there any down here? Yes. So we have The Science of Murder. That sounds really good. This is about the library. It's philosophical letters. The story of With. Heard good things about that. Rembrandt in the Wind. Uh-oh, my cover is coming off. Rembrandt in the Wind. That sounds really good. Every Christian should know. I think that's about art. Okay, these are all fiction. Except for... No, that's also... Okay, hang on. Let's go down to the bottom. Oh, I think I was tilting up. See, these are all... Except for those over there. Okay, pause. Down here. Girls of the Atomic City. Most of those are just writing craft. Yeah. Those I'm not going to do. So I gotta pick my nonfiction. I'll be back. Okay. So I'm gonna put these back. After tonight, I will have a third one to go up here. So far, this has been working out really well with those little journals. All right, so it seems silly to be doing this whole, everybody has a bobbin sitting on their bookshelf, right? It seems silly to be doing kind of a middle grade thing, but I am going to do it because it is something that I read, and it just seems silly not to. It won't be this one or this one. Read both of those, or these two. Okay, so these I think are more YA. So I don't think there is any middle grade here. And the lower next two shelves are not... They're my books, see. So we're going to skip that. Okay, down here. Say hi, Neville. Say hi. How you doing? Down here for middle grade, we have Clockwork Dragon and Ravenfell. And, oh, Toothless wants in on the... Hey, Toothless! You coming back or not? Neville will. Here he is. Hi. You want to say hi? Yes, a good boy. Okay. But I don't see any other middle grade there. Over here, the only middle grade I think I see, and I don't think it is, but if it's possible, it would be this one. I don't see if it is or isn't, so I'm going to assume it's YA. It feels like a YA theme anyway. We shall see. So, none there. All right, middle grade here. That's picture book. We have middle grade up on this shelf. And do I count these since I have them on here to be read already? Yes, it's in the room. It still counts, so I'm going to count it. These are all middle grade, as is that one. So those are contenders. pretty sure most of that back there is not. And I'm pretty sure none of that is. Or that. Or that. Is this? This might be. That could be middle grade or YA. I don't know. Does anyone know? I feel like that could be. So that's a contender, as is that. Is that YA or middle grade? I think that might be YA. Yes, this is YA, so this doesn't count. And there's no middle grade down there at the bottom. Okay, so we have to choose from these. I'll be back. Next up, we're going to go with straight up mystery. I know there is this one. And this one. And The Maid. And Secrets Between the Shelves. Those are mysteries. Let's see. None of those are mysteries. Let's see what we got over here. Don't fall. No falling. Let's see. Don't see any more. Straight up mystery. I think that's suspense. So we can skip that. And hang on. Okay, then down here we have Murder in the Bookshop by Carolyn Wells. And I don't think any of the rest are straight up mysteries. So let's go over here and see what else we can find. Okay, here we have Playing It Safe. That's definitely a mystery. To Love a Falcon is a mystery. And none of those are mysteries. Let's check down here. All right, what do we got down here? Any straight up mysteries? Mysteries. Hunted Air, I think that's suspense. Yeah, not seeing mysteries. Check this out. Any of these mysteries? No. I don't see any mysteries here either. Okay, so no, there's this one. This is a mystery. So that's a possibility. So I'll pick one from these. And it's funny, I started to pull them out and I'm like, I can't do that. That'll give it all away. So yeah, we shall see. Okay, since I'm already here, let's go with women's fiction next. Let me see. Women's fiction. This may be women's fiction, or it could be romance. I'm not sure which that fits in. I am assuming Nicole Deese is romance. This is women's fiction. Pretty sure. Okay, let's check other shelves. All right, what do we have? This one is women's. This is probably considered women's fiction. And this one is women's fiction for sure. I wouldn't call any of those. Let's go down here. What do we have down here that might be women's fiction? This one could be women's. Nope, that's Jamie Jo. That's not the one I thought it was. I think this one might be either contemporary romance or women's fiction. Not sure. The Danny Petrie could have been a mystery. I think it's suspense though. Okay, women's fiction. All right. Just for the record, I think this might be mystery. Okay, so women's fiction. I'm thinking both of these are women's fiction. I think this one is women's fiction. And He Should Have Told the Bees is, but I just read that last night. So I'm not going to call that one. All That Fills Us is women's fiction. I don't think those are women's fiction. Oh, and then these down here by Robin Jones Gunn are definitely women's fiction. Okay, so we're gonna go with those. Our possibilities. Okay, now we're gonna go with historical. And I'm gonna call it historical period, whether it's romance or not. I think that would be easier. So April's Promise. I'm assuming that one is, but I've already called it middle grade. Sarah Sundin, If We Cry. I don't think The Girl Who Could Breathe Underwater, that might have been women's fiction. So that's something to think about. This is definitely historical. And, oh, another women's fiction. Yeah. Historical. This one is historical. This one is historical. And I feel like that one is historical, as are these. And I think this one is too. So we have a lot of choices there. What do we have down here? Hang on. Okay, this one is historical. I think this one is. And these two are. So there's some options. I just noticed that we're going to have to consider what to do about split time. This one is historical. Calling this historical, even though maybe I should call that spec fic. Let's leave that as spec fic. And these two I'm calling historical. See, this is split time too, but, and I think this might be split time. This is definitely historical. This is definitely historical. All right. We have over here that's historical. This is spec fic, so we won't call that. This is historical. And so is that, but I put it under mystery. These are historical, as is this one. A lot of spec fic. A Tangled Web isn't, I'm not counting that. Spectres is technically historical and whatever. What I Left for You is historical. The Hunted Heir is not. That's suspense. Okay. Okay, so for suspense, we have The Hunted Heir. And I feel like there was something else. Danny Petrie. And A Cry in the Dark. And I think that's all for there. I lied. There's the Garden Girls too. And A Thirsty Neville. You're going to drink it all and I have to pour some more in. You want some more? Okay, let's get some more. Yeah, you pretty much drank it all. There you go. Thirsty doggy. That crazy dog. I'm telling you. 2 sips after I refill it. Okay, so then suspense. I'm assuming Seconds to Live. No, he's still thirsty. Well, oh, here was another historical. And Thief. I've already read Thief, though. I'm not sure why that's in here. There's a couple I'm not sure why they're in here. I've read them. Like An Overdue Match. And there was another historical there, too. I think Troubled Waters might be women's fiction. I need to remember that. Okay, Everywhere to Hide, I'm pretty sure is suspense. And then none of those are suspense. This is suspense-y. It's kind of a spec fic kind of thing too, though, so I'll probably leave that under spec fic. Whoops, that isn't. Okay, here's more suspense. And oh yeah, forgot that there's another mystery. Now, oh goodness, I think I hadn't given that dog water in days. Okay, and then this isn't, they're calling it romance. Hey, Toothless. They're calling it romance, but I would have thought that was women's fiction. Yeah, I'm not seeing any more suspense over there. Hang on. Oh, I forgot that one. That's also suspense. Okay, let's finish up with, oh, no, we got 2 to go, not just 1. I was thinking we just had spec fic, but I forgot about that little thing called romance. Okay, I already know what I'm going to do for spec fic, so I'm not even going to put it on here. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'll surprise you guys with spec fic because I'm not going to walk all over the room for, there's only a couple in here anyway, and I know what it is. So let's go with romance. We have Julia Monroe Begins Again, and I'm only looking for, okay, I'm not really going to call this spec fic, even though it might be. I'm putting Castle Rose under romance. What else do we have for romance? I'm pretty sure this is romance, and I may have read that. I can't recall what is what with those. What else do we have over here? Okay, no more romance there. Down there, I mean, like the letter tree, I think is romance, but I put that under historical. So we're going to, oh, wait a minute. I think this might be romance. Yes. Tegan's Treasure, that is definitely romance. Okay, hang on. Okay, romance over here. I've already read An Overdue Match. Lacey's Star, I just realized, is mystery. Although I think I might have read that. Anywho. Rescue. This is spec fic. Look at that. But I'm still not going to change my mind. So, of course, that tells you what isn't in there. Okay, this one I'm pretty sure is romance. You know, all that it takes. The rest are, yeah. We have romance here. Not there. Okay, so The Color of Home is technically romance, they said. And Something Borrowed, that's definitely romance. And yeah, that's it. Okay, I'm going to pull out my picks and then we'll talk. Okay. Have I got some books? So I did pull one off of the current TBR, but most of them I didn't. There was just, there was one that when I got to it, I was like, it doesn't matter, current TBR or not. That would definitely be one, which was kind of interesting because I would have thought it was another one, and I'll get to that. Well, I'll get to that now. So the one I chose for middle grade was the Bletchley Riddle. I decided that if I could only grab one of my middle grades from this room, and this room doesn't have that many, but if I could only grab one middle grade, it would be this one. Although, is it like Beyond the Mulberry Glen up there? That one was a really close second. I thought I was going to choose that one, but I decided on this one. Although it's really funny. If I had to like repurchase, books, I would have saved that one and repurchased this one because I'll bet pretty soon this one will be relatively inexpensive on Etsy, where that one I don't think would be. So if I was being really practical, but I went from a reading standpoint, and if I'm going to read one of those two today, it's this one. So I chose the Bletchley Riddle, and it's the one that says, what good is a story that can never be told? Two siblings working on ciphers and stuff in London. Really, really anxious to read this, and I have heard nothing but good. Everyone who has mentioned this book, that have read the book, has said great things about it. So I did choose this one. Okay. I really do need to make that one a priority. I think I'm going to save my nonfiction for last because it doesn't really fit. And these are not in the order that I did my video. Sorry. And I'm not going to go in and chop it up into the right order because I'm that lazy. So next one I chose for, and I'm surprised I didn't do more of it this way. I'm really surprised actually that I didn't, but I didn't. So for historical, I chose Embers in the London Sky. And the reason I chose it, there are several historicals I really want to read. But I chose this one because I've already read some of it and I really liked what I read. And I want to keep going. And I think I've actually read more than I thought I had. So I might regret this choice because I could have had one that I need more. I mean, I'm dying to read the Scottish one and all the stuff, all the stories. But I decided this one because Mom looking for her son signed me up. So yeah, let me get my glasses in case you don't know about this one. It's London, 1940, and as the German army invades the Netherlands in 1940, Alida van der Zee Martens escapes to London to wait out the occupation. Separated from her 3-year-old son, Theo, in the process, the young widow desperately searches for her little boy, even as she works for an agency responsible for evacuating children to the countryside. When German bombs set London ablaze, BBC radio correspondent Hughes Collingwood reports on the Blitz, eager to boost morale while walking the fine line between truth and censorship. But the Germans are not the only ones Londoners have to fear, as a series of murders flame up among the ashes. I'm going to stop right there. Yeah. Okay, so see, reading the synopsis, I'm remembering more. I may have read more of this than I think I did. I thought I had just started it because of where the bookmark is. Or it's not really, it's my book plate that I'm using as a mark. But I feel like maybe it fell out and it just got put back in the wrong spot. So I may have read more of this than I thought, but I have not read it on Goodreads. I did check. And so, historical, that's my historical. And then mystery. That was hard. That was really hard because I've got like Nancy Mel's new and I'm like, but then there's like those bookshop mysteries. So I'm like, and then I had planned on the Sweetness at the Bottom of the Pie as a possibility for one up there for the Chantal Reads Your Day. And so I thought, well, I should do that one because I had clearly almost chosen that. And then like Mistaken, I had forgot about Mistaken. And I was like, I'm telling you, it was really hard. But then I decided because I really want to read the second one in this series so badly, and I refuse to let myself read the second one until I've read the first, I chose The Rare Jewel of Everleigh Wheaton. And can I just say I love her name, Everleigh. I think it's really cool. Everleigh Wheaton knows it only takes a few well-placed lies to ruin a reputation. She's experienced it time and again. But there's a silver lining to repeatedly proving herself. She's become confident and self-reliant. When she loses another job and an enigmatic stranger offers a solution to her financial troubles, she's game. After all, she loves a good mystery, and the invitation to visit the legendary Halstead Manor is irresistible. But she's not about to let her guard down with the other women who received the same invitation. Life taught her that trust is dangerous. And there's a strange voice on the phone, and he tells them that he's gathered them for and all the stuff, and we're stopping there because I don't want to give away stuff for myself. So my mystery pick is this one, and Gosh, I feel like this is like a backup TBR for April now. That's not what I planned to do, but it's kind of feeling like it, you know? Let's stick with the mystery theme, and let's go with our suspense next. Also, a purple theme. So I chose 8 Down because I've read the first book, loved it, been dying to read this, and I don't remember why I didn't. I feel like I thought I had it and I didn't, and then I got the third one and I still didn't have it, so I had to go buy it. Or maybe I actually think that's it. I think I have 2 of these. Yeah, I think I have 2 of these. I think I loaned this one to my friend. Oh, well, it's okay, because Kimberley Woodhouse is definitely worth a second book. Let's go with that. So this is part of the Cyber Alaskan series, and I had a really hard time because like Train to Protect is like a super fast one, and that was like tempting, but I was like, yeah, no, maybe I don't want fast, because if it's all I get for a while, I don't know how long that while is. Don't you love how seriously I take these totally fake things? But then there was like the Garden Girls and what's the secret? Her Darkest Secret? And I'll Cry in the Dark. That's it. So there's those 2 by Jessica Patch. And I'm like, I've been dying to read those. But I decided definitely this one because I like the idea of the crossword puzzles. And I know she puts like, you can actually do some of that kind of stuff in here. And I was like, I want this one. I want this one. So, 8 Down for suspense. I'm down for it, man. Yeah, that was bad. That was really bad. Okay, I am seeing an interesting thing here. I have 2 from the same publisher so far. And Women's Fiction brings it to 3 from the same publisher. That is unusual because the publisher is Riddle, and Riddle isn't like my go-to publisher. So I find this really interesting. Yeah. Huh. Bethany House. That's Kriegel. I got a lot of Kriegels right now. The other one is Ravel. Ravel is one of my go-tos. I really like Ravel. But yeah, so I chose Grandma Ruth Doesn't Go to Funerals. And partly, this is so silly, because remember, this is totally fake. But I really did try to keep it as like realistic feeling as it could. And I know I told my friend that I have this book here. And if she wants to come get it, she can read it first. And so I chose it so that I would be able to read it before she comes and gets it. I've got problems, people. I've got serious problems. Oh boy. Okay, so Grandma Ruth. Something is brewing in Rayburn's Ferry, Georgia, and it's not sweet tea. In a small town where gossip flows, bedridden Mary Ruth McCready reigns supreme, doling out wisdom and meddling in everybody's business with a fervor that would make a matchmaker blush. When her best friend has her world rocked by a scandalous revelation from her dying husband, Mary Ruth kicks into high gear, commandeering the help of her favorite granddaughter, Sarah Elizabeth, in tracking down the truth. Finding clues in funeral condolence cards, decades-old gossip dredged up from the Blue Moon Beauty Emporium, the 2 stir up trouble faster than you can say pecan pie. But when things are starting to look up, a blast from the past waltzes in with an outrageous claim. But as Grandma Ruth always says, when things get tough, God is too big. With him, nothing is impossible, even bringing long-held secrets to light. Grandma Ruth and Sarah just might have to ruffle a whole mess of feathers to do it. I mean, come on. I had a Grandma Ruth. And she totally would have done this. But so yeah, I love the title so much. But there's that one. So then we have romance. I'm saving one for almost last because I didn't tell you guys what my spec fic choices were. You did see a couple of them, but I didn't really go through the spec fics because I knew exactly what it was the second I thought spec fic. So anyway, but for romance, I chose, because I keep talking about it and I keep not reading it, I chose The Castle Rose. And This is by Tabitha Caplinger. This is the Phantom of the Opera meets Beauty and the Beast in New Orleans plus beignets. Pretty sure there was beignets. Wasn't there beignets? Pretty sure they mentioned beignets. But there's also like a bookstore. I mean, come on, a bookstore. So really, really, really eager to read this one. And I can't believe I haven't yet. What's wrong with me? I need to see if I got it on audio. I'm really on an audio kick. I read a lot of audiobooks this one. Even though I didn't read much. Most of what I read was audio. Just saying. All right, so all the drum rolls. Spec fic. I really hope I'm right and that this is a spec fic now that I'm here. Because oh my goodness, it's a bigger chunker than I thought. Because I thought it was, and so I chose it. But let me see. I think it's spec fic, and if I'm wrong, tell me, and I'll pick another one. But yes, so Nightfall in the Garden of Deep Time by Tracy Higley. The soul lives in such eternally deep time. We are both driven and called forward by a kind of deep homesickness. What appears to be past and future is in fact the same home, the same call. Richard Rohr. Oh, it's a beautiful inside. Nice, but this is a lot of pages. Oh, there's one to read next after it. So it's got 416 plus pages. It says, you are invited to a timeless party in a secret garden. Expect to come back transformed. This should have been on March's TBR. Kelsey Willoughby doesn't have time to pursue her writing dreams. Imagination doesn't pay the bills, and she's busy saving her beautiful bookshop from online competition, hotel developers, and the sneaking suspicion that nobody reads anymore. Not to mention all these voices telling her she doesn't have talent. But then the vacant lot of weeds next door starts to shimmer. When Kelsey stumbles into a luminous nighttime garden party, larger than the vacant lot that holds it and filled with enigmatic guests, she suspects they hold the key to saving the bookshop and perhaps even her own mysterious origins. But answers aren't forthcoming. Not until Kelsey is willing to confront her past, step into her potential, and push deeper into the unknown edges of the garden, where an unexpected journey takes her into a world of dangerous revelation. See why I think it's spec fic? I think it's spec fic. But doesn't that just sound? I just want to read this. What is wrong? This is why I did this, because I always have these books that I'm just going, I really want to read it. I really want to read it. I really want to read it. And then I don't. Someone said in the comments the other day, out of sight, out of mind. And that's what it is. And they're in sight, but there's so many. I have so many books that you become, how you can become nose blind to smells? I think you can become book blind to your titles. And that's why you keep buying them. No, you keep buying them because you're smart and because you want to feed authors. That's why I buy books. Well, and because I like them on my shelf. They're pretty. And because someday I will read them. I really do read the books that I buy, but, So, finally, last but definitely not least, I'm going to make an adjustment here, but definitely not least, my nonfiction, I chose Living Fearless because Anne has never steered me wrong. Not once. She has never steered me wrong. So I thought, yeah. She's the one who told me to read it, and I read the first chapter and I just really loved, it wasn't even a chapter, it was a preface. Beautiful. Anyway, it says, discover the secret to being fully alive, fully human, and fully free. Well, that would be Jesus. I'm just putting that out there. I think he's talking about digging into Jesus, but I'm just saying. After decades living and working in conflict zones, Jamie Winship discovered an important truth. All human conflict originates from fear, and fear originates from a false view of God, ourselves, and others. Until we exchange what's false for what's real, we will never experience the true freedom of our identity in Christ. So, yes. I chose this one because this one. I will read, and it's got to be a quick read, which is kind of nice. But this would definitely be one that I would want to choose for this totally fake, but feels all too real. These are the only ones you get to read. Are there any up there that I would replace these with? I made myself choose books that I haven't read before. You know, if I was going to, you know, save any of my books from utter destruction, I can only save one from each genre. All of them, I mean, we would be talking different books. There would be definitely different books here. But I chose ones that are only in this room and that I haven't read before. So that's what this was. Kind of got a hint of a rainbow effect if I do. Not totally because it doesn't have all the colors, but, you know, a gradient effect. Let's go with that. It has a gradient effect. If I move it around. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? So, yeah, these are the ones that I chose. And I think I'm going to leave them up here by my April stuff, just to kind of remind me, hey, these are things that you said you wanted. And who knows, maybe I've already done my May TBR minus, you know, a couple of favorites is the one for Chantal. And I think we moved to, like, the Blue Castle or the Story Girl or something for May, I think, for that. And so, I mean, there would be those other things added, but this is really tempting. I mean, I got to figure, I don't even know what the biblical studies is yet, but yeah. So this is it. These are the ones that I chose. And I think I chose well. I like them. Yeah, I like them. It's a good set. And yeah, I might do something about this. I don't know. I feel like this is like telling me something. I just kind of don't know what it's telling me. But anyway, this is what I did, and we're done. And I'm going to get off of here and go make me a salad so I can come back and edit this thing because, yeah, my day. Because day. And, yeah, are you ready for April? Because it's April 1st, and I'm no fool. Meanwhile, have a good day. Read a bunch of good books. And I'll see ya hopefully on Friday.